live on YouTube in a minute, and then we will be starting a program there. Hare Krishna. Okay, so I've written down those points with the question answer. So again, a request that I'll answer those questions which are not possible to be answered by me. I do not know. I'll say I do not know. So others may also want to answer, but please hold your horses. Please answer when I request you to say contribute, and you can contribute. So don't raise your hand. I want to say, and I want to answer, and I have to say no to you. That's not good. All right, great stuff. So 1 minute now. Okay, let us share the links now. Copy on YouTube. Krishna Singh Jayarada Madhava, please quickly. You there?
Yep, Hare Krishna. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of a problem with my phone. Hare Krishna, everybody. So we'll sing Jayarada Madhava.
And just get a short one, please. Okay.
Yep. Thank you. So if everyone could please repeat after me with your mics muted, that'd be very nice. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya
Yashodanandana.
Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Bhajana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Shri Radha Girdhari Bhagavan ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki Jai. Shri Shri Giri Govardhan ki jai, Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Neela Madhav ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha. Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar, Shri Shri Radha Giridhari Bhagwan ki jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Sarvabhutale Shrimati Mahavishnu Goswamiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Sarvabhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurmani Prasayana Nivashi Shri Srimad Bhagavad Sarine. Jai Shri Gurudev ki jai, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, Hare Krishna. All right, so we've got somebody new. I think anyone for the first time today who joining us? Could you just shout out, please? Not to welcome, nothing. Somebody's new, first time.
This Sopan Prabhu's guest, isn't it, Sopan Prabhu?
Yes, Mohan Bhujbal.
Okay, would you like to introduce him to us then?
Yeah, Mohan Bhujbal, he was working with me for almost 10 years. He was associated with me.
Okay.
And he's not in a spiritual, but yes, he does believe in God. And he's also joining in Marathi program with his family in Shital Prabhu's program, and he liked it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yesterday, he really enjoyed that one, and he wants to continue it. And when I told him about this program, so he said, "Yes, I really like to join."
Okay.
He's HR manager.
Okay. Is he part of any for WhatsApp group at all? Does he know?
No, he just first time.
Okay, so first time. Okay, all right. Okay, welcome Mohanji. Hare Krishna. My name is Ambarish Das, and I hope we can intrigue your intelligence. This is a question and answer program. All right, so let's take the first question today. Thank you very much for all of those who have asked the question, and you should thank me for answering them. Not that you have a question, so you already recognize somebody. Hey, I have a question, and say yes, sir. Here's the answer. All right. So, Shital Prabhu, you had somebody from your team who had questions. So, whose question was about the three modes of material nature, please? Is the person around? Can they ask the person?
Yes. So this was asked by Rupali Mataji in our Saturday's program.
Wow.
So I think Rupali Mataji is here.
Can she elaborate the question, please?
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Would you like to ask the question again in your own words, please?
Yeah. I just wanted to know about what are the three material things which are exist in a human, like tamogun, sattvagun, and rajogun.
So what do you know so far?
So far, yesterday we had a session with Shital Prabhuji, and they have explained very well. They said the person who has Brahmanical the person who is worshipping, who is reading, who have intelligence, and who is devotee, as well as the person who is doing so many things for God, and he has good qualities. That person we can call him as a Brahman, not by birth, but as per their qualities, as per his qualities. Okay, so this is called Sattvagun. And Rajogun, that we can say the person who is more into the work, who is more into the business, or he's more involved in family, and we can say a sexual life. So that person we can call that person has qualities of Rajogun. And the person who is more lazy, or he like to sleep, he like to he is more into alcohol, or alcoholic, or not, not very good qualities, like he don't like reading, or getting knowledge. That kind of person we can say tamogun.
So you got your answer then?
Actually, yes, yesterday's question, I have learned this from yesterday's question.
So do you still have the question? Do you still have the question or not?
Actually, my concept is clear. However, if the people who are in this session, maybe they don't know, so we can cover this again if they want. But Sheetal Prabhuji has explained us very well yesterday.
So you talk about you. Is this clear for you? It is question
Yes.
from you. Others have question, they will ask a question.
Sure. Mine is clear. For me, it's clear.
Okay, that's good then. So the question, I'll remove the question from here then. Okay.
Prabhuji, I didn't spend too much time because of the limitation. I think just try to explain that in 5 minutes time, because I know we're going to cover this topic in detail in this question and answer session. So because there is audience is different, because they also wanted to know, so I quickly actually gone through the 3 things.
Maybe then you could have spoken after the program, not before the program.
Okay.
That's okay. If her concept is clear, then it's fine. We just move on to the next question. What is the question? Again, similar from your program, you spoke about the deity. Whose question was that? That the deity from the deity form of the Lord, we see in the temple and the photograph is actually that of Krishna or not?
Yes.
Is a person there here?
Yes.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
I think this question is also from me.
Okay. You got the answer yesterday, or you want to talk about this? Would you describe the question?
No, actually, I think we had quite little discussion on this thing, and I'm still not very clear with this question. Actually, my question is, we are considering that there are some Jeev on the other planets as well. Okay, and we are living on Earth, so we are considering there are many planets, and on Sun also there is a life.
Can you show yourself? Is it possible, please?
Yes, Prabhuji, just give me a minute.
I didn't answer this question, Prabhuji. I told them they will add this to the session. So.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So my question was, if the life is on Sun, then why Krishna has not in form of the others body structure? Like if there is life is on Sun and they have also structure, like right, they should also structure of body structure they have also. So how can we believe that Krishna is looking like us, though he has 4 hands? But how is there any proof, or is there anything that we can consider, yes, Krishna is looking like us? Because we are in Krishna's body. The whole universe is in Krishna's body. So how it is not possible that Krishna is not looking like us, or Krishna has other different look? Sorry, Prabhuji, I think you are on mute.
So the question you had, which was given to us, was this, that how do we know the deity form of Lord Krishna that we see in the temple or in various photographs is actually the real form of Lord Krishna? Is there evidence that Lord Krishna is actually looks like the deities in the temple? Is this the question?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So there is a question. As you will study step by step the knowledge that we share to the best of our ability, you will come to get this knowledge also about Krishna and about his different forms and how he looks like. The deity form of any deity, important deities, they are mentioned in different Puranas, and including the size, the forehead, the nose, the eyes. So the Shilpis, the sculptors, they understand it and they create accordingly. Now, even the current age of ours, where deities are being made by people according to the photographs and all that we've got, still I have heard them saying that many times the people they say, I want Krishna to be like this, So many times temple and home people they say, I want Krishna to look like this. So of course Krishna's form, as we say. Now the Shilpis, the sculptors, they then start doing it, but what comes out is Krishna's way of understanding. And that's what is accepted. Now, to be more specific, answering your question, after the departure of Lord Krishna 5,000 years ago from earthly planet, along with the Pandavas were unable to bear the burden of separation from Krishna. So they also decided to leave this world. But before they left, as we know, Maharaj Yudhishthir, he appointed Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, as the emperor of the world. That's how the whole Srimad Bhagavatam is recited when he is given only 7 days to live. And that's why the Bhagavad Saptas are being given, in 7 days. So, as he was appointed the emperor of the whole world, Vrajanav, he was the great grandson of Krishna, the son of Aniruddha. He was made the king of Mathura at that time. Vajranav, he also missed Krishna very much. And he wanted to, and many great personalities requested him that he has to re-establish the glories of Vrindavan, because Vrindavan was slowly covering, became covered too. So Vajranav decided to excavate all those places of Vraj where Lord Krishna performed his pastimes. And the person who was alive, who had seen Krishna personally, was the mother of Abhimanyu, Uttara, wife of Abhimanyu, mother of Parikshit Maharaj, Uttara. So when he made 3 important deities for us, actually it is mentioned that Vajranav, he excavated and carved out very exquisite deities of Krishna, about 16 of them. If you go to see, even in Dwarka, there is Bet Dwarka. So in Bet Dwarka, there's a place by the island, So in Bet Dwarka, the deity there of Krishna was actually manifested with a desire and constructed by Rukmini. So, for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, there are 3 main deities which we worship in Vrindavan. And these deities were Vajranav requested and recommended these deities to be carved out. So one is, these are all 3 very famous deities. Madan Mohan, Shri Radha Madan Mohan. Then Govindadev, Radha Govindji. And Shri Radha Gopinath, Gopijana Vallabh. So apart from the descriptions in the Vedic scriptures, we have got this too, that these deities were made and carved out by Vajranath, the great grandson of Lord Krishna. And for us as Gaudiya Vaishnava, we've got our Sambandha, Prayojan, Abhidheva, these relationships, and these deities are the predominating deities for that. So it's not some mental speculation that we are doing or anybody has done. As you study Srimad Bhagavatam especially, you will understand the form of Krishna which has been described. But there are descriptions of Lord Vishnu's form also, with 400 forms. There are descriptions of Krishna's form also, 200 form. And in philosophically, for those who are not accustomed to seeing Krishna in the deity form, they see Krishna in the universal form also. So Vishwarup is called. And if Vishwarup is the Rup or form which is mentioned in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, where Krishna is showing Arjuna the universal form. And then after that, the 400 form and then the 200 forms are given. So we start, for those people who are a bit new, who find it hard to accept God as a personal form and everything comes from one form, they start with the universal form. But this universal form is a material form. That's apart, but this is how, hopefully this will give you some solace in your answer, that these are the bases on which we accept the form of Krishna as we worship. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. So nothing is speculation,
Yes.
You'll get the knowledge step by step. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So this question is done. We'll come to the next question. Right. Now, Divyanshi, you could ask your question, please, in your own words. Mother Divyanshi, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'll first read the question that I sent you. What are the things that we are doing in our day-to-day lives that are making our lives and our thoughts unnecessarily complicated? How can we practically change our way of doing things and our daily activities, which can help us simplify our lives and our mind? So we keep on saying this again and again, that we unnecessarily complicate our lives and we complicate our thoughts a lot of the times, that we need to be a simple person, be simplified. So I just wanted to ask that what are the things that we are doing in general life that are complicating our thoughts and our activities? So yeah.
Thank you. It's a good question. And yes, you correctly said it is a very vague question. It's a very broad-based question. Vague meaning it is very broad, you don't know where to start and where to end, But always it starts, complications always starts, and always comes from the mind. Our mind is a place of complications. Okay? As Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev says, that mind is the culprit of everything. There is a sea next door to us. You throw your mind into the sea and take my mind also with it. Now, you see what happens is this, that mind, it is taking information from the senses. The eyes that we see, the ears that we hear, the nose that we smell, and the tongue that we taste. So this information is constantly we are bringing information into us, and where does it go? It goes into the mind, stored there. So desires come in. You see something, you like it, oh, I want to do this. I'll come tomorrow and do it. I saw it, ears heard it, maybe nose smell something, and say, I want to do it. I'll come tomorrow. I'm a bit busy right now, I'll go. So mind is got it, information. Intelligence says, not now, man. You have to go to your office right now. You can't do this. So it's okay. Come back next day and do it. So mind is how things are functioning. It processes the information constantly. Now, as you say that how our lives are necessarily getting complicated is this, that the mind, once it receives information, starts to interpret the information that we have received in some way or the other. Now, how does it interpret the information? He interprets the information based upon each experience that the senses are experiencing, along with other various influential factors like our past incidents of similar nature. These determines our mind to act or think in a particular way, and whether making it complicated or not complicated. And this is also called judging, because in the past, a person by this particular name had come and cheated you twice. So third time, the person of the same name comes with a smile, you say, this guy is also going to cheat me. You see, yeah, it's conditioned. I'm not saying it is right or wrong. I'm just saying this is how it is. So complication begins with all these things. It's not just one point. So the solution lies of achieving no complications is when we train our mind to interpret things, interpret the experiences that we are having, which we are experiencing, as they are, and not clouding them with our past hang-ups and experiencing. This is not easy to achieve. Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj would say, man, a person can change, no? So if a person has done something to you 10 years ago, that's okay. Give them some opportunity. In preaching, we get this all the time. You do not know how much people have been with us, gone upon us, done things. And if we hold on to all this, what we have got, then probably we'll never preach to anybody. But Maharaj would say that it's okay, give them a chance. But don't be foolish. Nobody can call me foolish. They will call me very shrewd, Usually they'll call me shrewd, but they'll not call me foolish. But if they're very, very honest, they understand that beyond the facade that we create, we're trying to screen people how seriously they want to know. That's why some of the questions, when people ask in this question answer, we may not accept the questions. So the good etiquette is that, can we please ask this question and can it be taken in? Not that I have a question, this question, and expect a servant to come and say, yes, boss, my answer is this. It's not Google. Google can do it. We are not Google. But to get Google, you have to pay money. Get your mobile phone or computer, spend money. Get your internet connection. Here you get free. So the thing is this is how we create complications by clouding our mind with past experiences and hang-ups. You see, if I say something on some topic and I've made my opinion, I've given my opinion, and you say, no, I have this opinion on the same topic, let's say climate change. And I said, this is what it is. I think we put up a post, that this is what is happening, this is what I'm doing, I made a statement. Now you may say, no, climate change, human factor is 0.0000000012%. Majority is that of the volcanoes that are erupting, 20 volcanoes a day, which throw out these gases and all those things, okay? All right. So you have also given your statement. Okay. Now, this is how a person who is trying to control his senses would interpret things. I gave my opinion, this person gives their opinion, that's okay. But I can tell you, 99.99999999% of the person says, no. But so what? That means that a human being should not do anything about it? And this guy would fight to say, no. Why should you do anything about it? Volcanoes are there, So this is all bogus. This is all wrong. And they're fighting about the situation, right? So what we are doing is that we are trying to, with our perceptions, we are conveying things and putting forth our idea. One thing is to put forth our idea. Second is to convince others our idea. And third thing is to push our ideas. Right. Now, a person who has got an objective in mind, I've got only so much time in my life, in a day, 24 hours, of which 9 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours, 2 hours, whatever time I sleep. And then I have food, I cook prasadam, I offer to Krishna, I have so many hours gone, take my bath, all those things, so many hours gone, do my work, so many hours gone. Okay. So how much time do I require to argue with this person? And what will I achieve by arguing with this person? Not really, nothing. This person has given the opinion, you have given an opinion, that's okay, no problem, good night. Good night, have a great day. Haribol. That's fine. But majority of the people will keep arguing, and then ultimately they will not talk, complicate the mind. This thought will be with you for so long. You're chanting, you're thinking about this argument about global warming. You're studying, you're thinking. You're sleeping, you're thinking. You're having prasadam, you're thinking, all same thing. This is a practical answer. This is very hard. But if you can master this, that not all battles are worth fighting. You must choose your battle. This is not a battle. It's a battle, yes, for your mind. People may say, no, but somebody has to argue, From arguments only things will grow. Fancy words they bring out. But I've been to so many forums, I can tell you, nothing comes out. It's just fancy words. It's just one-upmanship goes on, As Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj would say, in an argument, it's very hard. Don't ask me to implement it. I've not done it so far. But he says this. In an argument, generally, the person who's the loudest, he's considered to be winner. But actually, the loudest sound is silence. In an argument, learn to keep quiet, but remember Krishna. And I can tell you, a person who can keep quiet is more powerful than a person who cannot keep quiet. Vacho vegam manasakro, blabber, no, you say something and they have an opinion, For everything they have an opinion. Everything they are fighting. All right, no problem. You can keep fighting. So this is how practically, as you said, practically answers to this. This is how practically we can save our time. But for that, we have to understand the functioning of the mind. For that, we have to understand the functioning of people in general. For that, we have to understand the three modes of material nature affecting everybody, including us. When we assimilate all this information, then a sober person decides what to speak and when to speak, when to preach, when not to preach, how to preach, how not to preach. These are very hard things. To speak only when you are needed to be spoken to. You are required to be speaking. Don't poke your nose in the middle. Well, that's a very, as I say, as you correctly say, it's a vague question, wide question. I try to give the answer, but give some specific answer there. Is this okay? So, what is the one point which you picked up, which was answering your question?
Prabhuji, that a lot that in arguments we should know like which battles are to be fought, because of course this comes up a lot. There's so many arguments that you can argue if you sit down and like if you try to like understand that what things people are saying wrong, and if you are disturbed by every single thing, then you won't be able to move forward in your devotional life or in your any life. So like really we should know which battles are to be fought. That's a very good point. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, clever person is that person, Who knows? Who knows? Jai Ram Ji ki. You win. Okay, you win. Yeah. Okay. Great stuff. Now, after that, we had question from Parth. Parth, would you like to ask a question, please?
Thank you for considering the question and for giving me this.
That's good. You're a quick learner. Hare Krishna. You asked, I have a question, and you asked the question. I said, wow, this is good. I wish I had this facility somewhere, Wonderful. Please go on. Please go on.
Yes, Prabhu. My question is, am I audible, Prabhu? Okay. So my question is, Prabhu, how do we learn from our sufferings in hell and in the past lives when we neither remember those sufferings nor the cause of those sufferings? Yeah. Do I need to explain all this?
Right. Okay. So you are saying that we don't know our past life. We were not there. We don't remember our past life. We don't remember our past suffering. So how do we know that we have suffered? And
how do we learn? That.
How do we know we have suffered? How have we learned when we don't remember? We're not experiencing it. Clever question, huh? You think you'll dethrone the old man, That's a clever question, you people. I tell you, I wish I had an old man like this, I can throw and dethrow and find out, You think, okay, all right, let's put it the other way. Right. So good question. Sufferings of past lives and the causes of suffering. When we do not remember specific incidents of suffering, we will not remember. We do not remember specific incidents of suffering in our past life. What a past life? Even in this life, do we remember how many people we have suffered? Why go very far away in past life? Stay in this life only. But we may remember when others have given us suffering. Okay. That is the nature of body. This is what Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj would say, that it is the nature of the body. That we will remember what other person has done to us. Bad, especially. Good we forget. But we will not remember what we have done to other people. That's the nature. This is the complexity of the body. That's why this material world is not fit for a gentleman to live. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, Om Vishnupad, Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj would say this. This is the reason why. Because the body is made like this. The material body is made like this. And with the three modes affecting us constantly. So, we do not remember the specific incidents of suffering from our past lives. But we may not have forgotten the experiences. That's why all of us have got strong likes and strong dislikes from birth without apparent reason for it. Is it not so? Yeah, I may love to eat raisins and you would hate it. Why? Has raisin come and done something to you? So that's why we have strong likes and dislikes from birth without apparent reasons for it. And sometimes we have common likes, few of us common like to make a group of it. And common dislikes. And sometimes we have got different likes and dislikes from others. Likes of food, as we discussed, likes of spiders. How many of you hate spiders? Can you raise your hand, please? You can't stand spiders. Right. For me, it's okay. For me, it's all right. It's okay. But others are, spider! Run away, So what? So what? It's just small spider, It's okay. No, that's okay, right? But that's what it is. Can you explain this? No, from childhood it is the case. Animals, other animals, of people also, of colors. Otherwise, we cannot explain this phenomenon of suffering and enjoyment. Somebody says in a particular way, somebody hates, others may say, oh, it's okay, it's all right. What is your problem? No, I can't stand it. Why? What do you think, Parth? Is this a good, reasonable phenomenon?
Yes.
I remember John Henry Ford's great-grandson, Ambarish Das. It's a great Ambarish Das. We just have a common name. He said that his great-grandfather, Henry Ford, John Henry Ford, he had a natural inclination towards cars and mechanics. Just since his birth, he was like, he didn't have to go any training. Of course, he would go training and get it better, but inclination, natural inclination for him. This is past karmas, past lives. So our life is, material world is not that black and white as we think it is. It is not that black and white. Material world is black and white so much, but we are shades of gray. 56 shades of gray or whatever it is, because of all our past actions. So it may be okay to see that I'm here, you are there, and we've got a microphone which has got camera, and there's nothing between us. There's so many things between us. So many things. There is illusory energy of Maya. There's power of communication, the voice that travels through ether. The same information that we have can be interpreted in different ways. For example, we've done this before. Close your eyes. Everyone can, all of you who are showing your face and not showing your faces, close your eyes, please, for a second. All of you, close your eyes. Okay. Now, I want you to go to a tropical paradise, your favorite place, a tropical paradise, and just see around what you see. Okay? In 5 seconds, I'll ask you to open your eyes, but you see everything that you want to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, open your eyes. Right, Suchi, what do you see, Suchi?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I have seen a rainbow, butterflies, and peacock. I don't know.
Peacocks. 3 things, very good. So 3 things you saw this. Very good. And Priyanka, what did you see? You're with us?
Greenery.
Sorry, what did you see?
Greenery around me.
Greenery around you. Okay, wonderful. 3 things. Anything? Greenery is 1. What else do you see?
Nothing. Just greenery and sky.
Okay, all right. Greenery in bush. Fine, thank you. Kanchan, can you speak or your work? What do you see? Totally, she's at work. Okay, we'll just move on quickly.
She's typing on the chat.
Oh, she's typing on the chat. Okay, hold on. All right, something has come here. Hare Krishna, lotus flower. Because she's at work, she's lotus flower. All right. Okay. What else? We've got new person, Varun Vyas. I think he just joined our beginners program. Hare Krishna, Varun, are you with us?
Yeah, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what do you see? In your
Just blank, nothing. Just blank for 5 seconds.
Sorry?
I was blank for 5 seconds. I have not seen anything.
You've not seen anything. You're blank for 5 seconds.
Just
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Rupali, what do you see, Rupali mother?
Prabhuji, I have seen some clouds and the top of the trees and one castle top, that's it.
Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. Okay. Would Mohan ji like to say something? Sopan Prabhu, what do you think here? Is who to speak?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mohan ji. Tell me, what did you see?
Sir, I have seen the images of my mother.
Your mother. Jai.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Very nice.
Yes, sir.
Sir means stupid, idiot, and rascal. So please don't call me that. I used to call people sir like this. So I've got this mental, hang up. So please call me.
Agree.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Thank you. Yes, Pradhan Bhabika Mataji will keep you as a senior. What did you see? You've seen this. You've been with us before on this. What do you see?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, I saw just what I normally see, like beach, palm trees, and this time I also saw some, those lounging chairs next to the beach. Yeah.
That's after the marriage edition. Nice. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we saw one question. The question was a common factor, right? And all of us saw something different. Why? By our past experiences. Okay? So even with our own experience, we see different things, although we do not know why it is. In the same way, what our past impressions that we carry, we've got the hang-ups of this now. So it is very, very important to understand that all of us have got past in this life and the previous life. No one is a clean slate. And that's why it's called baggage. And we have to clean our own baggages, clear our own baggage. And till the time we have got baggage, we will not be able to see and think clearly. It requires immense amount of self-control. Vacha vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jihva vegam, udarupastha vegam. And it is a daily challenge. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you don't fail. But I can tell you, a person who chooses, who's wise, is a very rare commodity. And that's why maturity, again, Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj says, maturity is a gift. It's a gift given by Krishna. To see things as they are, it should be our challenge. Is this okay, Parth Prabhu? The question all right?
Yes, thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Okay, right. And okay, you covered that. TT form is covered. Krishnadas, you would like to ask a question, please?
Hare Krishna. Thank you for all the wonderful questions so far and for the wonderful answers as well. My question was, I'll just read it out, what I actually wrote. That Vedic scriptures like the Bhagavad-Gita and the Srimad Bhāgavatam, they talk a lot about monarchs, rulers that would rule the whole of earth, so the whole world, not just a country as we see now with a prime minister of a particular country, etc. So they talk about rulers of the whole earth. So based on that premise, is there any strong evidence to suggest that Vedic culture was being followed throughout the world in olden times? So that was my question. Hare Krishna.
Good question. You people, it's very good questions. Fertile brains, But I can tell you, I also had the same fertile brain. And that was the very first question I had. I said, before I go any further, because I read many books of philosophy, of interpretation, different philosophies. When I came to Srila Prabhupada's books, I was astounded by many things. And one of those things that I was astounded by and which really gripped me was this, that Srila Prabhupada was that person who said there used to be one ruler of the whole earth, used to be based in New Delhi, modern day New Delhi, Indraprasth. I said, wow, this man should have got guts to write like this. And then I heard him speak like this in the lectures also everywhere in the world. I said, wow. So where is the proof? I said, before I really study any books, I want to know this proof. How many of you had the same mindset, please? Can you raise your hands? Okay, good. So I could see only a few people open. So what did you do? Did you read the books like this to get your proof? Anyone has read anything and done some research? You could have. Tell me.
Googled a lot.
Yeah, you had an opportunity of Googling. That's right. I didn't have that. At the time, Google was very new or not existing. Not that I was very old, just about 20 years ago. So not much. Googled a lot. What about anybody else? Anything?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So There was this show called on History TV, Ancient Aliens.
Sorry?
So, a show. It was a television show called The Ancient Aliens,
Ancient aliens.
wherein
Yeah, I know.
so they showed similarities of different cultures across the globe.
And
Now
what
they're
did they
very.
conclude?
They used to conclude very different things, but they conclude different. But
Yeah.
yeah, we saw at
How
least
did
that
it
there was.
help you in your becoming firm faith in what the Ramayana is saying, that earth was ruled by one king, Mahabharata saying that Yudhishthira Maharaj ruled the earth, Bhagavad-Gita Krishna says to Arjuna, if you win, you'll become the kingdom of the whole earth. You are the king of the whole earth, which is incomparable with that of the heavenly planets at that time. What did you do about that? Vedic culture. Ancient aliens, they don't talk about anything. Do you know anything about this? Anybody else? Specific about this?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Suchi.
I've also seen this series called Ancient Aliens, and in that particular, the gist was that what incarnation would have happened was actually they were coming from the different planets, and they were also like Lord Rama is also an alien coming from some other planet. So that gist was like that. I've also seen that, and
One of those scientists looks like an alien himself, with a big hair and so on.
yeah, they were giving some logical stuff also, but but that just was like that.
What logic? This defies logic.
Yeah,
This defies logic.
and then
You cannot
yeah,
even imagine having one king ruling on the whole earth. Prabhupada would say that every other ruler used to give them, pay them money, interest, collection, revenue, and they would give it to him. Boss, for you, sir, for you. And they would go.
I also have read many other books of like
Okay,
few
which one?
authors which had described that how they have experienced God. There was a author, name was Neil Donald Walsh from European country.
Experience God. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about Vedic culture was prevalent in the world. That is what we're talking about. Did you speak about this proof?
He did, but not in a very systematic manner.
Okay, all right.
More experience.
Okay. Thank you. You see, my research took me to at the time the book was not available, to a book written by, to be honest with you, my research took me to Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, because he would speak like this. And there are people who would say that in his class, Maharaj would say, Australia was a Vedic empire because Perth word comes from the word Parth. Like this, And I heard people give reference and say clear class. This, our devotee Madhavendra Puri, he gave a class and he said this. Parts have come from Parth. So after the program, I got hold of him. I said, "What? How did you know this?" So no, Master Goswami I would say, Prabhu, that's why I'm just repeating this point, I said, right, I want to catch hold of a bit more, And but for sure, Maharaj told me about a person. He's a Maharashtrian. You can still search him out. His name is Dr. P.N. Oak, O-A-K, like oak tree. Anybody has heard about him? Dr. P.N. Oak? You heard? You got his book? It's not. It's online now.
It's online, and I've attended seminars.
His seminars.
Yeah. He astro dating on it's Bhagavad, dating of the Bhagavatam.
Or maybe son. I think Nileshwar, right?
Oh, Nileshwar, yeah.
Yeah,
They say
that's
the same.
son, I think that's his son. Pretty sure.
Probably his son. That is him. That is his son. But he's older. So I was very surprised when I said, So Maharaj said that this person, Dr. P. N. Oak, it's very astounding what he has done. In one of the class, Maharaj said this, okay? And he wrote a book called World Vedic Heritage. Maharaj remember the name of the book. And said that how this person in the 1960s and 70s, he died, I think, fairly recently, there are YouTube videos of him, interviews. So he said about so many different countries and citadels, cathedrals, which had got Vedic inscriptions, interpretations linguistically, etc., to prove this. World Vedic Heritage. At that time, I couldn't find it, World Vedic Heritage. Internet was growing at the time. I had my internet company then. My interviews used to come in the Financial Express, Economic Times. I used to have my own company there, a big one in India. So, but we were new. I was in cutting edge technology, but still it was new. So I researched, and I bought book through physically of another devotee who had summarized what he had written. But his name is Stephen Knapp, and he wrote Proof of Vedic Culture's Global Existence. So I got the book with me, and I was reading the book, which has excerpts from World Vedic Heritage. And interesting things happened then. So I was reading it. This is what I wanted to know. This is it. But then I said, after a week or 2 weeks of intense reading, because I was to go to work, and in between in time, I would just park my car and open and read. It was so obvious what I was reading was interesting to me that when I parked my car in the parks, I remember it distinctly, one incident. Had my lunchtime, I had my lunch, finished of lunch fast, and opened the book and I was reading. That another car parked. This guy comes out from his car, and because it is cold, I put my windows off. He knocks on my window, and say, I was surprised. He said, "What are you reading, Mike?" I said, "How you are reading? You are so into this book, man. What is this book?" I was so surprised. And I told him what I was reading, He was amazed. He was a Maori guy, So I'm also reading something. He told him, we had a good chat and all. But this book, as I was reading, I got into it. And after some time, a week or two, I thought I'm too much involved in this. This is not right. Let me read Bhagavatam instead, This is taking my time off. So I stopped reading and I started to read other books, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-Gita. I started to read that because I already got some answers, And in a week's time, I was talking to Maharaj, and Maharaj said out of the blue, Ambarish, as we study this Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-Gita, we must also study these books, which reinforces our belief that the world was Vedic Vedic world. So you must read those books. And I said, I closed that book. I said, okay, Maharaj. I opened and I started to read those books, It was amazing. I started to read the book. Now, you'll be surprised to know so many similarities. Linguistically, it has been proved, and practically, it has been proved. For example, in Sanatan Dharma and the Vedic way, we have a habit of circumambulation, right? So a person is a very famous, 70% will circumambulate the person, circumambulate the temple, parikrama, basically parikrama. We do parikrama of the dhams also, Vrindavan or Mayapur and all this. But this is not the case. Nobody does parikrama of the mosque. Have you seen Muslims doing mosque? They don't do parikrama of the mosque. When people who follow Sanatan Dharma, when they go to the altar means temple, Garbha Gruha. Like if you go to even Shiva temples, excuse me, how many of you have gone to Shiva where the Jyotirlingas, one of the specific, who has gone to Jyotirlingas? So when you go close, they make you wear a particular white dress before entering. You remember doing it? Not for ladies, this was not for ladies, but for men, If you go inside, they make you wear white dress. Right, I'll tell you. So if you go to the altar, in any altar, you cannot wear stitched clothes, including underwear. You create your own underwear for men. For ladies, it's different. They are special. Women are always very special. They're always very special category. Women are not, unfortunately. But that's how fortunate things are. That's great. We're very happy for ladies. So we have to, for men, going to altar, we have to wear unstitched clothes. So our dhoti, our chadar, unstitched, But nowhere in the mosque they wear this. They wear their own things, but they wash their hands, their nose, the eyes, the hands, the legs, and they go. Right. But they do wear one place. Tell me, very obviously. Where do they do this? Where they do not wear stitched clothes and where they do parikrama.
Mecca.
Tell me where.
Mecca in the Hajj.
Kaaba. Not Mecca. In
Kaaba.
Kaaba. There's special stone. Everyone has to wear fresh. Take the bath, wear fresh clothes, white color clothes, and they do parikrama. Why? Tell me. He said that. Amazing, that guy. Absolutely amazing, is it not so? Well, if you go to church, you can wear shoes and go inside, right? The temple, you have to remove your shoes outside and go inside and all those things, No. But in a Vedic way, if it's a very famous or saintly person, we wash their feet. Remember, we wash their feet and all that we do. They don't do it in Christianity, right? They don't do such things. Right? Why? No, they do. They do of one person. Catholics. Who is it? The Pope. They wash his feet. Pope. They also use incense sticks. But they don't have sticks, but they got incense, and they put this in a chain and they do like this. Incense. When a saintly person lives in a particular place which is called Vatika, and where does the Pope live?
Vatican City.
That's it, Vatican. And added to that. Now you say this, oh man, this is not right, but what? How much more? Pope, P-O-P-E, actually, if you go to Rome, he's not called Pope. What is he called? Papa. Papa. That's why many times in India, this is a Sanskrit word. Papa is a Sanskrit word. Papa, P-A-P-A, Papa, is made up of two words. Right? First is Pap, meaning sin, and Her, meaning Harta. One who absolves one's sins. That's why the father is called Papa. 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 So the same Pope is called Papa. Papa in Rome and that area. Papa, her. And he absolved the sin. And I asked these questions to my mates who are Christians and preachers and church. I tell you, you're right. I'm sorry. It's called Papa. Papa. Countries. Italy, the name of those countries also have got Vedic origins. Italy, I-T-A-L-Y. But so many Indians with the British accent, they say, Italy. Foolish people, rascal, It's a Sanskrit word. It's called Italy. Italy. Tali means at the end. E means that place which is at the end. Now, where is Italy in the globe? It's at the end of Europe between Africa. And I've got some, let me see if I got some research here handy with me. Right. The city of Rome Rome. You know how Rome, we call it Rome, but the people who are living in Rome, what do they call Rome?
Roma.
Roma. Roma, Roma, which is so close to Rama, Rama. Just replace the word. Now, you'll be surprised to know that the entire Roman Empire was, when Italy was founded, it was founded on the 21st of April, 753 BC, before Christ, which is unique because no other city is so very exact about its founding date. But Rome, the reason why this exact date is recorded is because 21st of April is a date of Ram Navami on 753 BC. Do it. And prove me wrong. Dr. P. N. Oak, sitting in Maharashtra. Right. Now you say, what Rama is too much, Probably you've gone mad, At this young age, you talk like an old man, laughing all the time. Right. Wait here. So the research said that there is a city which is diagonally opposite Rome. So, diagonal opposite means what? Look, this person, whatever I say, he's diagonally opposite of me only. You got people like this, Who are they? Your enemies, right? 36 ka akhada mein, Hindi bhi iske. Whatever I say, you say opposite only all the time, right? Right. Now, what is the city which is diagonally opposite of Rome? What is it called? Diagonally opposite. This is Rome, diagonally opposite. Who was diagonally opposite of Ram? Tell me the name.
Ravan, no?
Right. The city is called Ravenna. Ravena. Right. So I said, let me go and find out, So I went across to my office colleague who was from that area. I said, listen, is it true? Opposite to Rome, diagonal opposite a city called Ravenna? Yes, you're absolutely right. There is one city. She went out, took a print out and gave it to me. There it is, Ravenna. So wow, P. N. Oak is right. Not only this, that there are also excavations now even in portraits of Pompey, the consul of Rome, on 2nd century BC, a painting of Etruscan emperor. Yeah, you will find a distinct Vaishnav tilak, V tilak on his forehead. And he was also wearing dhoti. It can be seen. There were, throughout Italy, there are found images of Lord Ganesha, Lord Shiva, and other Vedic deities in excavations. I've also seen that in their houses and excavated, they found it. And Ram, Lakshman, and Sita were found in the walls of ancient houses being excavated, you see, in Rome. When Pope is offered food, if we distributed, they also distribute the same food which is offered with prasad. There are 5 Shivalingas which are found in and hidden away in the Vatican Museum. We can give so many information. Um, Russia. Let's talk about Russia. Very prominent nowadays in news of Russia. What are Russians call themselves?
Rus.
Lucy.
Rusi, which is very close to.
Rishi.
That's right, rishis. You know something? It is a fact. I've spoken to Russians myself after reading these books. They say there is a argument in Russia where say the Vedas originated from Russia. There are Russian Vedas. They have separate set of books, same books like us, but they say it is Russian Vedas. I had a long discussion with a Russian person on this point. He said, I'm going back to Russia and I want to prove it. There are Russian Vedas. I have also found in the research they excavated a deity of Lord Krishna in one of the villages, and this deity of Krishna was found there. And they also found a village which had got natural oven with air, processing ovens which they made. So I went and asked my Russian friend. I said, "Tell me one thing. This particular city, this particular place there." He said, "Yeah." I said, it's a very spiritual place. People go there for spiritual things. I said they excavated something Vedic, our Indian Sanatana Dharma God Krishna, because I was Hare Krishna. So, yeah, possible. He said it is there, and I showed him this. And this news item of Krishna photograph came in Moscow Times, not in this Times. I've got it. I will show it to you. I think you can ask in Google also. It's there, the image of Krishna in Moscow Times. And then they came in Times of India and all those places. But he just funnily told me, but you know what? They all say it's a very spiritual place, but I have not found anybody spiritual there. They go there, I have not found anybody who's spiritual. I said, you fool. If somebody is spiritual, will he get two horns or something on his head so you can say he's spiritual? You're right. You're absolutely right. I said, then how do you know you're spiritual or not? So you're drunk, man. I said that most of the time you're drunk, vodka and all that. So you are absolutely correct. I agreed with that. So many. He was from Siberia. Siberia is what we call it. But people living in Siberia call Siberia as what, Shibir. Shibir is a place people come together and have discussions. There are so many devotees of Krishna there now also, current. We have got brother word, B-R-O-T-H-E-R, brother, comes from the word, Sanskrit word called brata. What is brata in Russian language, Slav language, Brat. Ik, dui, trin is Russian language. Plenty. Even in English words have come from Sanskrit languages. How? Okay, tell me one thing. This is called teeth, right? But the doctor of the teeth is called what? Why dentist? Why not teethist? What is teeth in Sanskrit?
Dant.
Dantavanjan and dentist, you see. But we don't know. We are followers. We are saying somewhere we are Indians have been, enamored by Western. Oh, white people, Western people, high grade. What great nonsense, We have forgotten our own past and history. Why teeth? Even leg. The doctor of this leg, the doctor of the leg is called what? Pediatrist. Why pediatrist? Why not legist? Because what is called leg in
Ad.
Ad? PADA, because pediatrist. So many. England, the original name of England is Angulistan. It's a Latin name, Angulistan. Meaning what? Angulistan meaning with the shape of a finger, ungli. You see England map is this, like this. Don't believe me, check your Google. You believe Google, so check your Google. The map of England is like this. Land of Isles, they call it, you know. So many Bury. So many Buries are there. Bury is Puri. Puri is mixed interpretation of Bury. So plenty. We can give you go on and on about every country. I've got it a whole list. If you ask me questions, I can talk about any country on this place. On earth. So linguistically we can prove. Religiosity we can prove. Even the Roman gods, maybe the names have been interpreted differently. You know? But they are the same. That's how we got the name Hindu from the river Sindhu. There's no word like Hindu in any of the Vedic scriptures. In my mother tongue, Gujarati, yes, but where I come from, Surat, they do not speak the word Sa. They don't even say Surat. They say Hurat. I found it very hard at times to deal with them. So Hurat, you know. So it's very easy to say Sindhu and Hindu. You know. It is so unfortunate that our India, Hindustan, even the word India is alien to India. Because India, also the word India has come from the word Sindhu river. Do you know this? You know this? Path. Very good. Tell me. Tell me.
Like people do not pronounce H. So Indo. So instead of Indo, they would say Indo. So maybe there.
So who did this?
It's from
Who did this? Who said this?
that I don't know.
Okay.
Just
Okay. See, the Muslim invaders, of course, after Mahabharat war, when things became disintegrated, and that's when Krishna made his best messenger to come, Prophet Muhammad. There are inscriptions of Bhagavad-Gita and inside the Kaaba also, they say, you know. There is a Shivalinga on the Kaaba stone. Okay, now, which you can see even now, it's there on YouTube, you can check out, don't ask me that, you know. Now, let me hold on to this point about India first, okay? So the word India, Sindhu, became Hindu and Hindustan. But India, how did India come? I'll tell you, Alexander the Great, right? When the Great had come to India, they could not pronounce Sindhu. They pronounced it as Indus. Indus. That's how you had got Indus Valley Civilization. INDUS, Indus Valley Civilization. That's how we got the name India, from the Sindhu River. Actually, India has got no name because the whole earth was called Bharatvarsha, from the son of Rishabdev, Bharat Maharaj. So India is actually a big identity crisis. That's why it's always haphazard. Outsiders have told us what we are. Imagine this, you do not know who your father and mother is. You will always be like this in a difficulty. You want to know your roots. The roots are in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-Gita. So my personal challenge and ambition is that for Indians, we should be understanding what we are, rather than having one white person and you were so happy about them and being animated. No, they're following us. That's great. All glories to them. Don't minimize yourself. What is trans skin color? For goodness sake, man. This is wrong concept. Absolutely wrong concept. Zamza, the river in Makkah, Medina, Makkah is a short form, Macca. Makkah. In English, word Makkah, right? It's Makkah. Mackha, Makkah. It's a short form of Lord Shiva, Makheshwar. Zim River is Zamza, which is Ganga, so it's similar to that, So phonetically, so many things can be spoken. These are all what I remember. They written down so many things then. When Prophet Muhammad, before it is there, it's a fact, it's Britannica Encyclopedia. I've read it for Islam. It is said that they used to worship in Makkah was a place of pilgrimage, a great spiritual value. Makkah, the holy city of Makkah, where they used to have people used to be worshipping different gods. Every rich person would create a deity of his own and then worship it. Basically, they're worshipping different demigods. We've got 330 million demigods. Each element is represented by a demigod, personality. So Prophet Muhammad, may be peace upon him, he went and he said, no, there's only one God. You cannot be so many gods. So there was actually a place where, this is the fact, you not believe me, but this is an encyclopedia. Okay. And this is mentioned in the research also. So that's where a place where all the different demigods were, or statues were there, deities were there. So he desecrated all of them, kept only one, which was that of Vishnu. There is even now, there's footprints of Lord Vishnu there. There are in two places. One is there, one is in Bodh Gaya. That's why many people go to Bodh Gaya for the people who die, for their liberation. For Vishnu's footprints. Arabia is English word. What do they call it in their language? Arbastan. And what is Arbastan famous for? Which animal? Their horses are the best. And what is horses called in Sanskrit? Ashwa. Arvasthan. This is Sanskrit word called Arvasthan. Australia. We started with Australia, we'll finish with Australia. Australia. Where are you going? I'm going to Australia. Where do you live? I live in Australia. Australia. Foolish Indians, nonsense. Right. I asked around, I said, Australia, is the original name of Australia Australae? I asked around to Australians. They checked around. You're right, that's right. Latin name is Australae. You tell me, what does Australae mean? It's a Latin word, all right. Is this a Sanskrit word also? Australae? Yeah. So those who know with me, just hold your horses. I know it's very exciting, We've gone through this, new people. But tell me, what does Australia mean? Anyone?
The place where
House of
weapons.
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 Astra means weapon. Alaya means place of weaponry. Okay. It's called Astralaya because that is where even Arjuna and before that Ram also, they perfected their weaponry, which would be destroying huge land masses. That's why Australia, the middle portion of it's a big planet, but the middle portion is completely ruined, very dry and deserty. Nothing grows there. That's where they practiced archery before coming and fighting. Australia. Perth, we spoke about Perth also there. Tell me, should I keep going?
What was the thing that you mentioned about Christo and Krista or something like that? You said.
Prabhupada says this point: Christo, Krista, Krishna. So in the Greek word for Christ, so Jesus we understand. What did Christ note came from? One who gives benediction is called Christ. They have a definition. That's right. So that word, it comes from Christo, which is a Greek word. Christo, which comes from the word Krista, from Kresta, and Krishna. Even some part of southern India, they call Krishna as Krista, Krista. This comes from the word Christos. I've spoken to Christians here, and they say, yeah, you are right. Its word is Christos. Now tell me one thing. What is the most holy day of Christianity? Tell me. Open your mouth. You're muted.
Christmas.
Christmas. Right. I spoke to one of my good preacher friend, So I said, what does Christmas mean? Birth of Krishna, birth of Jesus and all. I said, no. Christmas. How does it depict? Like we have got Ram Navami, Krishna Janmashtami means Krishna's birth, Ram's birth. So what does Christmas mean? He said, I don't know what you're talking. He's reasonably clever. He rubs shoulders with preachers and all, priests and all, He's chairman of a trust of Christian. Very nice person, my good friend. I said, see, Christmas doesn't mean anything, but Christ Mass means a lot of things in Sanskrit. Mass meaning what? Kartik, Mass. Mass meaning month. Month of Christo, Krishna. So Christmas and Christ Mass makes sense. Okay. Now we have got Ramadan now going on. Holy month of Ramadan. Right. Tell me, how does this sound, Ramadan? Is there a Vedic Sanskrit name? Does it sound like Sanskrit name to you people, you youngsters, olders? Ramazan is a different word. They've changed the word, but originally it's called Ramadan. Okay, let's make the spelling. What is it called? Ramadan. Ramadana. Ramadhan. Ramadan. Ramadhan. The word is misinterpretation of Ram, the month of where you can meditate upon Lord Ram. The sort of money is also called Hiram. It's called Diram. Yeah, but tell me. We just don't know this. We don't want to know this in the name of secularism. It's okay, I'm a secular, but you should not be foolish, people. This is our heritage. And that's why people say India is not fought, because the whole world was Bharatvarsh. They fought and separated from the one ruler. And if you read Bhagavatam, there is a mention of at what point in time the rulers got separated. Parikshit Maharaj's sons, the mention of that. You see? But nowhere till that time, Vedic rulers were only about glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and nobody else. They perform yagnas to glorify the Lord and nothing else. That we have forgotten. Now, look at the plight of India. Even the name India is alien to India. It's not our name. It's like Abe, that is our name. If somebody is Abe is a name. Even the religion that people follow, Hindu, there's nothing like Hindu. There's no identity there. It's an identity crisis for India. So Srila Prabhupada has given us all this information. Tell me, where is Bhagavad Krishna consciousness in this? Everything is there in it, but still not that. That is the point where he said the whole world follows Vedic religion. Yudhishthira Maharaj was the emperor of the whole world. Ram. Well, I must say this to you. In my research, I came across Genesis, Bible, Genesis, in the Bible. They said that what is his name? The Abram's daughter married a Kushev king. Who is the son of Ham. Now, does it make sense to you? Kushev, K-U-S-H-A-V, Kushev. It's Kush, king of Kush region. Who is the son of Ham, which is so close to Ram. So I went in and asked my friend, is it true? In Genesis is mentioned here that this very famous lady there, she married a Kushev king, a son of Ham. I want to see this Ham. So yeah, he actually brought in his Bible. It's with me in my house. Here it is. He said, Kushev king, kings of Kush people, which is African. Son of Ham, H-A-M, which is Ram. Misrepresentation of the names. So much. Why should you then? And if you read Bhagavatam every day, Bhagavad-Gita, memorize the slokas, give practical implementation of this, the whole Vedic world opens up for you. And that's what we have experienced and we want to share it with you, younger generation. This is the dharohar. This is the inheritance you are inheriting. Not all this Western way of life, abominable way of life, third grade way of life. That is not our life. They are sick and tired of it. But we are following them blindly. Oh, so nice. So nice. So what we do is, we take nice from them, but they adopt for us. We're taking riches from them and giving back to India. Nobody is poor here, don't you worry. We are all very rich. We take the riches, we give it back to India where it belongs. But we don't have discrimination of India, Hinduism. No. Because we see our vision is that the whole world. Right now, that is why the identity crisis is everywhere going on. So let us start from India first. We should understand. Call India, yes, India, but Bharat is the right word. Whole earth was called Bharatavarsha. At least somewhere people call Bharat, Hindustan is also a word given by the Muslims. They say they are Hindu people living on this side of people are called Hindu. Stan means a place over Hindus. Okay, Bharat is more appropriate. And still the word Bharat is used. It will become very extinct if you don't use it. I'm telling you. There'll be a very, very sad day. When they change so many names, back to like Allahabad became Prayagraj, which is good. No problem. All good, We must change the name of India to Bharat. Burma was changed to, what is the name? Myanmar, original name, So why shouldn't India be called Bharat? Call it Bharat. I think the technical thing is because the whole world was called Bharat, not only India. You see. So that's so many. I can give you names of the cities which are from Vedic Sanskrit words. Name the country, I can tell you about countries. I'm just narrating whatever I remember offhand, Krishnadas, what more do you want? Is this? Do you think all this is just hearsay or by chance these things have happened? These names are there? Or is some pattern there? What do you think?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your very in-depth explanation and proof, and proving that Vedic culture did indeed exist in the olden times around the world. Yeah, I agree that the phonetic similarities are 100% there. And also, you also mentioned archaeological evidence as well, which is something that's like very like strong evidence for me when I see like archaeological evidence around the world. And we've also discussed, myself and yourself about around the world where we see deities of demigods and Lord Krishna being found around the world. And so this will continue to happen throughout time, where they'll continue to find out new archaeological evidence to support. We actually, there's a video on YouTube where they prove that the Mahabharata was existing. So as you mentioned about identity, as Indians, as followers of Sanatana Dharma start to see these things, even in India and then around the world as well, that will give us a lot of empowerment. And so there's no question that there was indeed an existence of Vedic culture around the world. Yeah, and I feel like the proof will become even more and more and more as time goes on. Hare Krishna.
Good, good. I'm very happy you took it in the right way. We are not fanatics. We are not creating any divisions. That is not our business is bhakti to Krishna, because that is the Vedic dharma, to understand who God is. Because Christianity doesn't have the name of the God. They say it's God. God is a synonym. Similarly, in Islam, he did not give the name of the God, Prophet Muhammad, may be peace upon him. He said, "Hey Allah." Allah is a connotation for God. Now we know the name of God. We know what he does. We know what gives him pleasure. And we know, because they do not have this, the relationships are there of awe and reverence. Oh God, we worship God and bow down to God. Yes, we do the same thing. But the moment you go into the realm of God, you will remove the, what do you say, the formalities. It cannot happen just like that. Proper training has to be given for this. We have to get properly trained. Because Krishna says, formalities I like, but I prefer when there's loving relationships. It is revolutionary to people around the world when we say that you can love God, God loves you. You can play with Him. He plays with you. What? God plays? Yeah. He loves swinging. How many of you, there are so many swings in Vrindavan, where Radha Krishna swung in hot months. And we got festival of swings. That is our festivals. This is festival from India. It's Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is what Prabhupada took. And we accept, I told my friends, all these Christian friends, I said, I can accept Jesus Christ died for me. He got crucified for me. That's what you preach now, that Jesus Christ died for all living beings. I said, yes, He died for me. Do you accept Christ is the son of Krishna? Jesus Christ is the son of Krishna? He said, no, I cannot. So this is your shortcoming, I told him. This is your lack of knowledge. It's not broad enough. Where I can accept is the Son of God, Son of Krishna. His specially empowered soul. Yes, Shaktavesha Avatar, which is different to Vishnu Tattvas, but still Shaktavesha Avatar, specially empowered soul, not ordinary. So also Prophet Muhammad. That's why we do not fight. I've got so many Muslim friends. And we part saying we agree. 100% we agree with you. You see? But there has to be intellectual understanding. When we have got broader knowledge, then we have less complications in life. Right, Divyanshi? Remember this point. You know when to let go. Forget about it. It's still a child. Just like when your family, when your parents have got few siblings, one of them is a bit mature. So the parents say, you are mature now, you keep quiet. Let this person fight. So mature person always has to take the burden more. Similarly, we take the burden, we keep quiet for our own betterment. Krishna re bhaje sevar chatur. Very clever. Whatever time we save, we worship Krishna. I think there was some note from Dipiksha, a new person, Hare Krishna Dipiksha. You want to say something? Hare Krishna. Okay. You want to write. Okay. You can't speak? Okay. That's all right. You just wanted to say about Bharat explanation. Okay. That's very nice. Hare Krishna. All right. So I think that's where we finish our discussions for today. Question and answers. And yeah, hope you could get all the answers. Anyone has any questions on what we discussed so far before we finish today's class, please? Yes, Parth, you raise your hands. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you for the very nice explanation in depth. I just have one question. You mentioned about India, like this Bharat Varsh being the big thing, and you said that then there is also mention in the Bhagavatam of how it all fell down, how it started all coming down. So, Prabhu, I want to
It
ask.
didn't mention about how it's coming down. No. It did not say that, but it did say about after Parikshit Maharaj, who were the kings, rulers.
Okay. The genealogy.
Genealogy. Okay. Full genealogy is given. In fact, genealogy is given of not only from Manu. It is given. Yeah. Continue.
Yes, so I was saying that then why such a strong kingdom in everything? Why there was invasions by Mughals? Why was there invasions by British? Like,
again, you don't understand.
Why were we?
It is not that it was fortified. It was a whole country, whole world was one place. All right. And the moment you've got nobody ruling over it, there's always somebody who is taking over. I don't want this. I'm keeping my own. Just like in India, within India, you had got big one kingdom and there was small kingdom which was fighting against separating on their own. This is how it was. And when the religion came about, first generation finishes. The second and third generation, they don't accept the previous generation's religions. So they have got their own religions with different names, mispronunciation of situation, everything on that, So that's why they said we are Muslims. There was nobody ruling over them. And even if there is a case, they remove that particular ruler there and ruling on their own. There are photographs of people worshipping Krishna just like us. If you do deity worship, I've got it with me. It's there inside in Google, man, for worshipping Vishnu like this in Siberia. Yeah, no difficulty. So it's not that one kingdom and others were fighting over it. It's not like everything was one. There was no question about something else. But as Mahabharata war was fought, and all the rulers, as Krishna came, all rulers were destroyed because they're demoniac rulers. The disturbance finished. And then, of course, after Mahabharata, Krishna left, as we discussed. I was reading at this point, about the deities. Pandavas and Krishna's great grandson, he left, So this is how it became not very well controlled, in those ways, and disintegrated slowly. And that's when, to reinforce God's love, to stop the repetition of birth and death, Krishna sent his best son, as Lord Jesus Christ, to bring the same message of love of God. And then he sent his best messenger, as Prophet Muhammad, may be peace upon him, to preach this. And that's why he said, why are you loving so many gods, worshiping so many gods? There is only one God. But the quality of people he was teaching to wouldn't understand he has a form. So many people, even now, at an advanced stage of bhakti, you will also struggle to say God has one form. Only one person from whom everything has come about. Very difficult. Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So impersonalism is imbibed in living entities and living in the material world. Personalism is very different because the body is impersonal. Because body mixes with the earth, water, fire, and ether. Finished. Gone. The soul doesn't mix with anything. So it's very difficult for personalism to prevail. That's why Prophet Muhammad preached impersonalism. He said God doesn't have form. Even don't have my form also. It's offense to have my form or Allah's form. Now, if you read Bhagavatam, you'll say Krishna says, I can be realized in three forms. It's mentioned. The series mentioned is. First is Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan Discipline. Brahman is impersonalism. Energy. Paramatma is personalized aspect of Krishna, a super soul inside the heart. Vasudev. And Bhagavan is fifth burning form of Shyamasundar playing flute in Vrindavan. That's what we worship and want to worship. It goes in these grades, you see. That's why this knowledge cannot be given all at once. It has to be this beginner's program, then you get some knowledge, concepts are clearer, then you got intermediate program, then you get a bit more information, do's and don'ts. Now, what you're studying today, you've not heard me give a class. Sanjeev Prabhu was very good. There's so many do's and don'ts. I say, oh my God, it's not for me. I'm out of here. I don't want to be like this. I'm happy with my things, Coca-Cola, Zing thing, and all those things. I'm happy with this. Hoo, ha, ha, foolish. So we make you from like this, we make you nice, sober, then bring you to this place, and then from there we tick-tock and then put another place. That's when you look like human being. Otherwise, you look like all zombies. Or at the most, you're not better zombies, then you're better like animals, Somebody's looking like giraffe, somebody's hippopotamus, somebody's like chimpanzee. From there you become human beings, and then we talk about Krishna. I don't think I am human being. I'm that only. I'm a chimpanzee too. It's just that Prabhupada are teaching us, and I'm repeating what has been spoken. That's it. No complications, but step by step. And it's our challenge because this university education that we are giving you is free of cost. It's bhakti. It's a challenge to keep you all interested. That's why we give broad information to everybody, information specific to others, So this is how it is. When I came to Auckland, New Zealand, I went to New Zealand, I was in a place, my territory was New Lynn, it was a sales territory. Now, if what I see in New Lynn today and what I saw 20 years ago, you cannot believe it. The roads have changed. The buildings have changed. They've destroyed the buildings. You cannot imagine. I would say, this place was here. It was not here. It was something, it was like this here. You said, nah, it's impossible. What are you talking about? I know it. I've seen it. The New Lynn Community Center where we did our programs, all these people came, was broken after they came twice. Before that, it was totally different. There were roads approaching, they were totally different. Now they've broken down, roads have changed, this has happened, that has happened, very different. You cannot even imagine. So what can you imagine a few thousand years ago what things would have been? You see, with a tiny brain, we make this mistake. That's why knowledge of Bhagavad-Gita has not changed, is it? But your science, the chemistry that you're studying, or whatever you're studying, algebra or physics, it has changed. Bhagavatam is not changed. So when you study, you require time for it. And this time you'll not get it every day because you're youngsters, you're studying, you're getting your jobs, you will have your wives or families or whatever you've got to do, husbands, or you'll be busy with them running around, earning money, mortgage, all these things. But along with that, you must have Krishna Bhakti. And believe you me, we spend hours thinking, how do we give you that skills to make sure you continue? Because we've gone through what you've gone through. It's not new. If you're 21 years old, I was 21 years old too. Don't think I was not. You think you have made mischief? You don't know how much mischief I've made. Not that I'm very old. So there's a song I always sing, It says that, what is the song? I'll say, Krishna, what is it? I know what it is like to be young, but you do not know what it is like to be old. I'm not old, but I'm just telling you, this song was like that. Because I've been through what you've been through. Why? Count us upon Prabhu. बरोबर ना Sopan Prabhu? काय करतात हे लोक? आपण केलेलं आहे सब. Everything we've done, finished.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, there we're sitting here nicely, you know. So you've got the best opportunity, you youngsters. I wish I could have it. I was searching for it. You could do these two things together: your material life and spiritual life. Imagine this. Like Mother Divanshi was saying, that she works 12 hours, but she knows she's not depressed or she's not enamored by it. She knows this is not the right path. This is, I have to do it, I'm doing it. My goal is, life is, this is a part of it. So much strength. So much strength. Is that okay, Prabhu? You understand this point?
Yes, well, but where I was heading to was, you might be aware that in India there are, as you said, the word Hindu, right? There is a lot of politics around that word,
Yeah,
especially in India, right? And they justify it by saying that previously, like these invaders or whatever, we were not united, we were divided, and that's why they attacked. And we need to have one single united factor, which is we are all Hindus. Now, as it is political, I wanted to ask, what is the proper way of identifying brotherhood between each one of us so that we can stay united and not divided based on we are Vaishnava, we are Shaiv, you are Shakta, you are this Varn, you are that Ashram.
Sanatan Dharma.
How can we stay united? Okay.
Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan means eternal. Dharma means religion. We are Sanatan Dharma. We follow Sanatan Dharma. More technically, we follow Varnashrama. It's not prevalent as much. The Varnashrama is the correct way, but people will be alienated by this. Oh, what is Varnashrama? I went, Brahman, Kshatriya, oh my God, you dominate me. No. That's Sanatan Dharma. Eternal religion. You may be a Shaivite, good for you. You may be a Devi worshipper, good for you. You may be a Ganesh worshipper, good for you. We are Vaishnavas. I can tell you one thing. There used to be big wars being fought earlier between Shaivites and Vaishnavas and all those people. I'll tell you. Big wars. Including today, Jagannath Puri temple, where Lord Jagannath is a big deity of Lord Ganesha. There's a big story about that. So, in material world, don't expect unity. Expect disunity. If there's unity, that's good on you. You can try. But Sanatan Dharma is the correct name. We follow.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Haribol.
Can I just say something, please?
Yeah, please.
So just I had one or two points. One thing was, I don't know, you may correct me if I'm wrong. We went to a place, like in Wellington, which was the Te Papa Museum or somewhere, where there was this concept of tectonics or something, where they said all the continents, even physically, like we're talking about the spiritual aspect of it and subtle aspect of it, but even physically, millions of years ago, all the continents were one, and then the earth shifts made it separate like that. So there that I don't know what the concept is called, it's tectonics or something like that. So I do remember that specifically because Krishnadas was very young, but when we both saw, we looked and alarmedly looked at, we all looked at each other, and it's kind of a proof, isn't it, in a way as well. So that thought came to my mind just to answer Path Prabhu's question.
Yes, thank you. That's right. Because the seas were not separating us. That's what it meant, It was all one continent and broken into different continents,
Yeah,
But I can tell you that's how it was. This is a fact. This is a scientific fact, so-called scientific. This is what you're referring to?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And just the second point was that, when you were asking about, how do you what is it that you've done to kind of inquire about this Vedic civilization, that it existed everywhere and those things. So I was thinking, when we were in school at that time, our teacher, English teacher, so English was essentially a really boring subject for most of us, but at some point of time. So we had one English teacher who, what he did was, he used to, before reading the main content, there was a little note about the author. So who is the author, and a little, note about who the author is. And he would spend 80% of the time talking about the author and only 20% of the actual content, But it made it so interesting that, many of us actually developed a liking for English. And he said, well, that's what I wanted to do, I just wanted you guys to really like the subject. So I'm one of them. I started to like the subject. So on the same note, I resonate the thought that, Prabhuji and myself, when we were married and we were very young, we wanted all these, we had all these questions. And I remember saying this a lot of time, but we did so much research. That time the internet was new, so we used to do that. How did life come? Where did it come from? How does this happen? This, and just challenging. Big Bang doesn't make sense. This, that's, all these things were there. A lot of reading probably Prabhuji has done, not me myself so much, but just conversations and everything like that. Also with people you meet. And before reading Srila Prabhupada's books, I read Srila Prabhupada's small version, Lilamrita, which is his life story. And when I read that, somehow I was just convinced that whatever this personality is saying is all true, It's just sometimes, it's not always logic in life. At least for me, it's not. So sometimes you just like somebody and then you just accept it, like that. So I came from that frame of mind when I read Srila Prabhupada's story, The Small Your Ever Well-Wisher. And after that, any book that I read about which Srila Prabhupada has written or translated, it just made so much sense, And so I was just relating to that incident, that when where the author is coming from, like His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj always says, my Prabhuji said this, that when you read, you should read from the point of view that where the author is coming from. And this point really, after that, even now when I read Srila Prabhupada's books, I feel that maybe I don't understand this, but this is true. I'm convinced that if Srila Prabhupada is saying it, that's it. It's true. Maybe I will get the intelligence to understand it, if I read more like that. So yeah, I'm just saying this because another small thing, sorry, I don't want to take too much time, but when I was doing my CA studies at that time, our seniors, what they used to do is they used to because they've gone through all this process. You go through all these books and you go through all these questions and answers, and they've done so much research. So they used to pass it on to us and say, look, there is a lot to do. So these things are already we're passing this on, just in good faith, is to pass on all the knowledge and everything to us and then carry on. So I feel in that same spirit, that you can go and you can do your research, which is great, everything. But really, if there's any question in anyone's mind, I'm so convinced that it will be answered in Srila Prabhupada's books. That's all I can say. So it's your choice whether you want to go and do all the research or you just want to, sometimes just, accept it like that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Okay. Does it answer your question, Parth?
Yes, thank you.
Krishna has something he has to go on. Yes, Krishna, be quick, please. Thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Sorry, I just wanted to just lead on from Patmu's question, because I think he was probably he's coming from sort of what I was also thinking about, as sort of the younger generation of Indians, although I'm an NRI, but still there's a lot of sort of a consciousness that's sort of come up, I guess, when you talk about an Indian Hindu majority party in India, as as the government. But I think, when we think about 1,000 years ago, when the first colonizers came to India, and 1,000 years later, when we just got independence 70 years ago, there's a lot of historical, oppression, persecution, suppression of the Vedas, everything that we've been taught in education institutions in India is, at least from what I've heard from a lot of people, that they don't teach you about the Mahabharata, they don't teach you about the Ramayana. A lot of it is westernized. So a lot of our roots, and they don't tell us about Vedic culture being prominent in other parts of the world, even if there's proof, and they'll talk about other things. Of the most obvious case of it being Ram Setu, which is the bridge between India and Sri Lanka. Just a lot of information has not been given, and that's led to a complete loss of identity between the broader, the overarching Hindu, demographic in India. And that's not something that, it's, according to me, it's because of colonization. So this entire process of decolonization is starting now, actually, after 70 years of independence, because of lackluster governments in the past. So we're just seeing the beginning of this sort of, unity of followers of Sanatana Dharma, where we start to, recognize that, what our roots were, and, we start to appreciate us, when we see as well, oppression of Hindu minorities in other countries as well. These sort of things, bring us more together. And I personally believe that this will only increase in the future. And this unity is sort of, we're starting to see the groundwork of, something that should have been happening hundreds of years ago. So we talk about that in ancient civilization, that the Shaivites and the Vaishnavas used to fight amongst each other. Now, obviously, the circumstances have changed completely, with external forces providing all the, routing for us in that way. But yeah, I just thought that I wanted to add on to Patru's question, because I could see where it was coming from. And I think that it's actually going to, it's paving the way, and so hopefully we'll see that in the near future. So yeah, Hare Krishna. And this is also a very good forum for that. And that's actually why I wanted to ask the question as well, is so that, it's an education for all of us, regardless of where we are spiritually, as, Indians, or even as Westerners. It doesn't matter where you're from. You just have, this is an untold history, which is, I think everyone should know about. So yeah, that was basically why I asked the question. And also I think Patru's question was very relevant in that sense as well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Very nice. Hope you young guys understand this and don't become fanatics. That's again I'm saying this. And I can tell you with full certainty, if the whole earth becomes Vedic in Kali Yuga, everyone speaks Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, will kill each other still. You'll find a way to disintegrate, to divide and fight. It's the nature of Kali Yuga. So that's good to know. It's very important to understand these points. And that I have studied, I think schools we studied Aryan invasion theory. Aryans were invaded. I've studied it. My mother was a history professor, teacher. She would teach this. So when the first time when I heard an Indian archaeologist saying that it is wrong, he disproved it. His name was it was South India. I said, no, this is wrong. So Dravidians are the original Indians and Aryans came from Germany and all. This is wrong. This is wrong. He said disproved it. I got in touch with him in my research. Oh, I should tell you this also. So now doing all this research, I got in touch with him and we corresponded with him for a long time. I corresponded with him and agreeable with him. He's very famous Indologist. Very, very famous. Oh, God. Right. Just skip my mind now. All right. So yeah, it's very good to know this knowledge, and that hopefully I believe that once you know your identity, it's very important. A person should know their identity. What is the name? Where is it coming from? Then that gives the person strength. Otherwise, you do not know, you are haywire somewhere. Just do not know. The name is wrong. Your kundli is wrong. Everything is wrong. You don't know. Identification is wrong. So, all right, all right. Now I think we have offshooted a bit more than our time. Um, so, unless you've got some burning questions, I would like to conclude the program today. Now, please. Okay. Thank you very much. Wonderful. So, we'll conclude today's program. And who's going to sing? Whose turn is it for singing today? It's Navina's turn to sing. Very nice. Come, Navina. Come, show your lovely face. Very good. कसे आहात तुम्ही?
छान आहे.
छान आहे. खूप छान. छानच राहा तुम्ही हा. चला आता sing करा. 1, 2, 3, start.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
For you we will sing.
If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
And if we are dirty,
And we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we're not happy.
Wasting time
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
is a wasted mind.
So best use your time
So best use your time
when you're in your prime.
when you're in your prime.
And your whole life
Your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime.
If the wealth is gone,
If your wealth is gone,
then there's nothing wrong.
then there is nothing wrong.
But if the health is gone,
But if it is gone,
that's a different song.
that's a different song.
If the character dies,
But if your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior
Only saintly behavior
lets humanity thrive.
lets humanity thrive.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna
We can always remember Krishna
and never forget him too.
and never forget him too.
Now, how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
How are we to practice this? There's so many things to do.
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here is the greatest clue.
And here is the greatest clue.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely
So listen very closely
and make your thinking sharp.
and make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
This is just If something's due tomorrow,
If something's due tomorrow,
finish it today.
finish it today.
And whatever's due today,
And whatever is due today,
do it now, don't delay.
do it now, don't delay.
Your friends might be lazy
Your friends might be lazy
or doing bad things.
or doing bad things.
But if you think again, don't follow them,
Don't follow them,
and you will win it.
and you will win.
Whatever work we give in,
Whatever work we give on,
we do our very best.
do our very best.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, we see Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to learn to live this way. We see Krishna every day.
And when that time is up, we'll take our step up. We sing and dance with him, the hearts love up.
Now time is up, we'll take us up. Sing and dance with him with the heart of love.
The chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. The only way this world you can never become safe.
It's the only way this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest question and find this greatest clue. You can only remember Krishna
You can only remember Krishna
if Krishna remembers you.
if Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Jai Zolina Shila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Shila Gurudev Ki Jai.
Yay.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Yay.
Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai.
Yay.
Nitai Gaur Chandra Prem Anande.
Hare Hare Bol.
Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurani Prasad Nirvishesha. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. We will see you next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Brother Gopika Mataji, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Please keep coming on our Wednesday programs too, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.